and welcome to Fat School Speaks. Today is Saturday, January 5th, and this is episode 236. I'm Amy Beth, also known as the Fat Squirrel on Ravelry and the Fat SQRRL on Instagram. How are you? I'm totally late in recording. I just could not get in the headspace. Having the after holiday reentry. Are you having that? There are too many people still in my house. I mean, they all live here. They're messing up my brain energy flow. It's really hard to get motivated to record. It's not that. Actually, I've been motivated to record like 75 times. It's really hard to magically align the motivation to record, the correct brain space to record, the quiet time to record. The stars have not aligned, but now they have. The stars haven't completely aligned because I'm supposed to do Patreon prizes and I'm not going to do them at this very second, but hopefully I'm going to put the winners in here because I don't yet have the data, but hopefully I'll have it later this evening and we can make this all magically happen. So, okay, so time has passed, but I have prize information for you. So if you were a patron of the podcast, either via Patreon or PayPal, during the fourth quarter of 2018, I'm about ready to draw prizes. Now you'll see it's gotten much later in the day than when I recorded the rest, so I apologize that this is happening. But I still want to get the prize information to you. So you are going to be winning. You don't need to tell me which prize you want because you're all getting this prize. It's a 2019 tea towel with a little loopy-doop to carry it with. Well, not carry it like you're carrying your handbag, but just to hang it off of. So, if you donated, let's draw some prizes. Okay, in full honesty, I've already drawn them, but let's tell you what they are. So, the first winner is Jody Kirk. Jody Kirk, if you could just email me at amybmays@gmail.com and tell me your actual human name. Okay, I have that. But your human street address, or your mailing address if it's not your street address, I will get your tea towel out to you. But thank you, Jody. Yay. The second prize goes to Ellen Greer. Ellen, email me, amybmays@gmail.com. Teresa, you're the third prize winner. And I do have to say Teresa Burke because I actually have a lot of Teresas. What's going on, Teresas? You're generous. I didn't even know that about Teresa's. But Teresa Berg, you also win a tea towel. So Ellen, Jody, and Teresa, send me an email with your address. I'll send you a tea towel. And a big shout out to all those folks who are supporting the podcast financially. I greatly appreciate it. And so do a whole bunch of other people. So everybody just take a minute and send them a big thank you right now. Do you feel it? You're awesome. Okay, now back to the rest of the show. And maybe some light for part of it, at least. Let's get into it. Apparently it is dribbling to myself. Oh my gosh, right. So I kind of am like, today. I did a bonus episode like right before New Year's, and that has been awesome. I am so appreciative. I was very, very nervous publishing it. I'm not gonna lie. I actually thought about what I was gonna say for like 6 weeks. Tried to hone down things and try not to be a self-important jerk face and all this stuff. But then when I actually went to hit publish, I was still So I really appreciate everybody's positive response. It has been very much appreciated. And perhaps just as appreciated is if you did think I was being a self-important tool, I appreciate you not telling me. Now, if you're my friend and you felt I was being a self-important tool, then yes, please do tell me. There's this weird thing about criticism, right? I actually do think I can accept constructive criticism. Now, that doesn't mean that I doesn't like stress me out. It doesn't make me feel anxious. It doesn't make me feel like, oh, I failed. But I do feel like I accept it and want it. And so I was like, why do I feel like that about like the internet criticism? And I think it's really because like, if I don't know you, then that criticism is it's not constructive, right? Because like somebody out there is leaving 5-star book reviews on Dean Koontz's novels. And I'm just saying, I don't know if that's the person who's giving me negative criticism or not. And quite frankly, if you're the same person, then I should be able to discount that criticism, but I can't access your body of critical work to better understand it. So, theory. Not sure. But anyway, so I appreciate both of those things. Now, if you do know me as a human, I really will accept that criticism if you do think I was being a dummy. But I don't know. I appreciate you shushing. Much appreciated. Where was I going with that? Probably somewhere. I guess I was just saying thank you. Thank you. It is appreciated. So then let's talk about stuff like that we normally talk about. So of course we have not talked since before Christmas times. In fact, we haven't talked since before I cast on my Hedgewitch, which means we haven't talked since like solstice time. Before solstice, probably. Wow, it's been forever, y'all. So let's talk about some stuff. Okay. So the first thing I'll talk about is not knitting, but you know, I was talking about ornaments last time that I had knit. And so this is my last installment of ornaments for the year. I saw somewhere, oh, I totally checked out a book from the library and this was in it. That's where I saw it. It was like the Scandinavian Christmas or something, which largely was not helpful, but I thought these were super cool. You totally just take, this is a grapefruit, and I used my mandolin. So I used it on the thickest setting, which is not that thick, but still, it worked. I was concerned, and I did do them cold because I think the firmness helped. So you just slice but you don't have to use mandolin. I have one, so hello. And then you just put them in an oven to dry them out. You can do it on like a 200 degrees for 3 or 4 hours. But to be honest with you, I don't know if my oven is a little bit hotter at those lower temperatures. I have a gas oven. A lot of mine, I picked the one that's the best because I want to show you the best one. But a lot of mine, you can see kind of right there, have a bit of like char. Char's not the right word. But just where they were sitting on like a drying rack in the oven and the drying rack got a little warm, they got browner than I would like them to be. So I think I'm going to revisit this again next year and just leave them in my oven perhaps overnight because you know, like if you have a gas oven, it's always a little bit warm because of the pilot light. So I'm hoping that will help do harder. Do you see me leaning? I'm trying to determine if I still have enough light or if this is messing us up. Oh, this bar of light might mess us up. Maybe if I get closer to you. But anyway, so they're very pretty because they have this like beautiful translucent thing that happens, which I really enjoy. And they have beautiful garlands with like these strung between cranberries and stuff, but that seemed like a lot. But I think I want to hang them we do garlands. Like I have like we're sort of like an arts and crafts style home that's like just a 4-square. So there's big open doorways between all of our rooms. And I like to hang garland along those. I'm just going to swing this around a lot because I hope that's not at all distracting, right? But anyway, so I wanted to hang from those. Wow, that was really a lot of swinging. Because the translucent effect, and then that's also where I want to hang all my mushrooms forever and ever. So, but anyway, so those were fun. I thought I enjoyed them very much. Okay, so then also in non-knitting, but now at least we've transitioned into wool. Is that a wool hanger? It's totally woolly. Last time I showed you my gnome in progress from Going Gnome. So this time I have a full gnome to show you. Right? Oh, look at him. Oh, you can't marry him, it's mine. I'm not, okay, by the way, let me get him in the sun. Now he's supposed to be kind of like shearing a sheep or like working on sheep. So that's why he's kind of like, that's why he's tilted a little bit this way, because he's supposed to kind of be a little bit like this with his sheepiness. Also because I'm not an expert bulk sculptor. Shush. I am not going to lie to you though, when I got done with this, I was straight up excited. Straight up a little bit way too excited. I may have done like a full-on photo shoot and Instagram compilation. I may have then tried to sneak him into every photograph I took for like a week. I'm gonna marry him. He's gonna be my wool husband. Look how cute he is. Do you love him? This always freaks me out, and I don't know why. But to make their holes, their eyes, you just make holes, right? His eyes are really just needles. Like you just jab him in the eye a million times to make his precious little gnome eyes. Okay, come on, computer camera. Stop focusing on me. There we go. So to make his eyes, you really just like jab him in the eye a million times. So there's something kind of dark about the fact that his eyes are just holes, and like it can kind of get me into a weird place when I think about it too much, but I'm just not gonna think about it too much because do you love him? So I am like fully crushed out on him very hard. I think he's amazing. And as usual, her kits are awesome. You always have way more wool than you need. I can't certainly make another him, but there was plenty of whatever I needed. And so, yeah. I may have made a sheep from her a while ago, and he may be posed with the sheep. I'm turning into such a weird old lady. And I'm down with it. Anyway, I totally want to make a cute little lady sheep shearing gnome, but I'll be honest with you, like one of the great things about making the little fellows is that the beard hides their face. So I don't feel like you have to be quite as talented. My little lady gnome I made a few years ago is a little bit, she's a little earthy looking. So I do want to make a sheep shearing lady, but it's a little bit more challenging, I'm not gonna lie. And therefore I'm sure well worth it. But that's on my to-do list, but he's so cute in the meantime. I hope there are a million pictures of me on the internet like this. Okay. Oh my gosh, I was like I made lots of notes about what we're talking about. Look at this. Yeah, I still feel like I'm like, what am I doing now? Okay, so I did that. Oh, I'm gonna do a bonus episode next week probably about some sewing I've just finished. So last time I talked a little bit about the Elizabeth Shannon apron. I also finished a Patricia Camilla pinafore. And so I'm gonna do a little bonus like sewing episode. Thanks, patrons of the podcast. Next week. And I'll talk about those. I'll talk about the fit of them and how they worked for me and all that stuff. So I'll look for that next week, hopefully. Okay, what else? Because there's been sewing. Not a ton, not as much as I wanted. I wanted to get those beeswax food wraps done. I didn't get that done. Still on my list. I did make a topper though for my dining room table. So that was very exciting. It's not fancy. Like it's not actually pieced or anything. It's just like a batik whole cloth. But I finished it. I'm very happy about that. So anyway, so I'll do a little sewing thing next week. Okay, so there's that. There's that. Let's talk about knitting. I have done some spinning. I'm not going to lie to you. I have been mildly obsessed with trying to get together a marled mania cardigan. I think that's what it's called, right? Stephen West pattern. And I want to do one that's all browns and blues, but I don't have quite as much blue as I have brown. So I may have actually started spinning just to spin some blue fiber. Predictable. This is the first spinning I've done in forever. And it's just because I want to make that knitted garment. Oh, there's too many knitted things I want to make. It's out of control. Oh my gosh. Do we talk about that? Sure, we should talk about that. I'm not prepared at all to talk about it. Let's talk about that. That makes a lot of sense. Whatever. Last week I asked for people to, or in the bonus episode, I asked if you would put in, if you were interested in sharing, putting in some like body piece or just like some variety of different human beings on Instagram that you follow that make you feel good and all that good stuff. Well, one of our listeners posted a link to her Ravelry projects, and it's amazing. And amongst other bajillions of awesome sweaters that she posted in her project link, you should check it out at Ravelry, the Fat Squirrel group. I can't find it. Having so much trouble working the internet. It shouldn't be this hard. There's not a million responses in this thing. Why can't I find the one I want? This is what happens when you don't prepare properly for the things you're talking about. And you work off the cuff. And you do things in a non-normal way. Oh my goodness. Where's it at? I know it's here. Because I may have bought yarn to go with some handspun I had so that I could make the sweater that's in your project pages. There you are. There we go. I don't know. I think I was looking for the actual picture that's in her project pages, which was dumb. So Hecky Thump posted a link to her projects, and let me just discuss that I'm going to marry you. Get ready. We're getting married. You and the gnome and I are going to have the most amazing polyamorous relationship ever. But also, look at this sweater. So this is the Guthrie sweater. And I got to be honest with you, I've looked at that sweater several times and just was like, right? Like a lot of, the Caitlin Hunter patterns I look at and I think they're super cute, but I'm just like, I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know how, cause like a lot of her things are like lots of positive ease, and then like have that like lower armhole, which I have knit the, is that her? No, I'm not sure. This one. Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking. But the drop arm is like, I'm not quite, I've knit a poncho and then didn't really love that like feel. So, you know what I mean? I'm just not sure. But this stupid sweater has made me, well, clearly I buy yarn for this sweater because I don't have like 7 other sweaters I'm knitting at the same time. Definitely not. But anyway, you should go check out her sweaters because they're amazing. Caitlin Hunter, but also, I mean, Hecky Thump, because super cute. I'm dying. Right? Right. Sweater inspiration. So yeah, I think I'm going to do, like, the picture of Guthrie that is, like, the project page, like, the main picture is, I think in Spin Cycle, because, hello. But it has a hand spun effect. So I think I could do it. I'm going to do the contrasting color with hand spun and the background color a coordinating color. And then we make it short sleeve, and then I'm going to wear it over all of my Fat Lady pinafores. Yes. Which I'm really excited about. Couldn't tell from. That's my excited face. I know, I'm difficult to understand. I'm so reserved. Okay. How was that talking about what I was about to talk about? We're just going to keep going. Okay, so let me show you the thing I've already showed you. So I have my Afterparty sweater, which is taken from Lane Magazine. It's a sweater by Astrid Troland. Last time I had a sleeve done. So now I have 2 sleeves done. Dun, dun, dun. This one's blocked, just to verify gauge. Wonk. And now this one is done as well. Wonk. I wonder if you can actually tell on camera the difference of the blocked versus the unblocked. The one closest to you is unblocked. I don't know, I think you can tell the difference. So I got that done, and now I'm also on to the body. And I have decided, I don't know if I talked to you about this, I decided to make it a cardigan. So I'm going to steek mine, but here I have so far this much. And I have about a gajillion more stitches to do. Can you hear all? I live like 3 houses away from the fire station. So sorry if you can hear all that craziness. But so yeah, this is how much I have done on the body. So 318 stitches in me. For like 17 inches. Whatever, there'll be some butt darts and some bust darts that'll kind of help move it around a little bit, but it's a good thing I like this yarn, which by the way I did not mention. This is Bartlett Yarns, and this is their TerraCotta colorway, and then I don't know what colorway this brown one is. It's like wheat. That's not what it's called. I have no idea what it's called, but they don't, not only am I not good at keeping tags, when you buy them from the Wolf, like I bought this at Rhinebeck, they don't actually have a tag on them. So. But anyway, so there's that. Yeah. So I just did a 6-stitch steek, and then I will cut that dude up. Cut it up when I'm all done. Yay. I just felt like originally I really love the look of the pullover. Like I really love it. But I really envision wearing this over my pinafores. I have a slight house dress obsession if you're new to the podcast. If you're new to the podcast, welcome, by the way. I have a slight house dress obsession. So I really envision wearing this sweater over my, I need to move to Maine because there's not enough winter here. I'm in the middle of Indiana. There's still a lot of winter. I'll change my mind in February when I'm like, no, it's too much winter here. So that is going well. And then also, you have not seen, okay, I'll show you this that you haven't seen. Sorry, the lighting is changing very quickly today. I cast on the Joji Locatelli's 3-color cashmere cowl. I'm doing it in 2 colors without cashmere. I do what I want. So the first color is going to be this Madeline Tosh, held alongside a Shibui Knits Mohair Silk. So this Madeline Tosh is Tosh Sock in the Harbor color, no. What? Mirror? That's not a word. What is that word? I don't know what that word is. Okay, it's this color. And then this is Shibui Knits Silk Cloud in, oh, for the love of Pete, people. Is this a color? Fjord. Oh my gosh. So that's going to be one of my colors. And my other color is going to be another Crafty Girls Alpaca sock in the Vast colorway. And I'm going to hold that with Northampton Wool's Mohair Silk. Oh my gosh, I was so stressed. Oh no, wait, maybe I'm going to, or I might use this Lion brand. I think I've actually decided I'm going to use the Lion brand. Which, by the way, is the Lion brand discontinued? I only found it one place, and it's like at lionbrand.com, and they only had that one color, which I love, but, and it was very affordable. Like the Shibui is like $25. The Web's Mohair Silk is $7.99, but I got it on the 30% off sale. And then the Lion brand was like $3. And let me tell you, I couldn't tell the difference between any of them if they didn't have a tag. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm very new to this Mohair Silk bandwagon because I have bad memories of mohair. Like when this whole Mohair Silk thing started, I was like, whatever, I'm not interested in that. Because I feel like I tried to knit with it when in my youth by itself, and you know, it's such a mess to try to like take back or anything like that. Like I feel like specifically maybe it was Growing Kid Silk Haze, and I probably knitted it way too tight of a gauge, and like anyway, I just have bad memories of it. But this stuff, delicious. Corey, who's Corey the girl, had it. Was knitting something that had 2 strands of fingering held alongside the mohair silk, and it was a dream. A dream, I tell you. So I climbed right on that bandwagon. Climbed right on it. So yes, I think I'm doing the Madeline. I'm definitely doing the Madeline Tosh with the blue, but I think I decided to do the super awesome Another Crafty Girl with the orange. Anyway, it's super fun. And so the 3 color cashmere cowl obviously has 3 colors in it. I'm just reworking it to do 2. I do what I want. Because I have one of those, I have knit that pattern before and I really like it. Because it's a cowl that you can like pull up over your head almost like a snood. And my workspace for the shop is right next to our front door, which is just like a single pane of glass door. It's like it's really cold there. Yes, please wait to do the dishes. She's so excited. Just wait to do the dishes till I'm done recording. She's like, oh no. Okay. So I'm excited about that. I just started. I just have like the ribbing done. I just held it up at you. I didn't even show you, did I? Oh my gosh, I just ripped my needles out. So I just have that much done. Because I have cast on-itis. But really, if I cast on everything I wanted to, I would have like 12,000 projects going right now. Okay. So then the last thing I'm going to talk about is my Hedgewitch cowl. The Gentle Knitter and Fiber Trek are both hosting a cowl that was running from the cold moon, which is the last full moon of the year, to the wolf moon, which is the first full moon of the year. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to finish in time. She's eating ice cream instead, by the way. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever. I'm totally not going to finish in time. But it's the Hedgewitch shawl, which is a pattern by Nat Raedwulf. Okay, so when I found that they were doing the knit along, I wanted to participate because I think they're super keen. And also I just wanted to have a more meditative project to do at this time of year. That I could do some focus and some internal work and just, I do not have a meditative practice at all. But one way I can sort of access meditation is through handwork. So I thought it would be good to have an intentional project to work on this time of year as we're transitioning into the new calendar year. Again, as we're having the darker time of the year where I become naturally just more reflective and turning inwards. So I wanted to have like a good project to mark that. So it was just a great combination of things happening all at once. So when I was deciding what yarn I wanted to use, because I did not have anything in-house to use that wasn't part of a sweater quantity or what have you, so I decided that I was going to buy yarn. And I wanted something that would, again, kind of go into that vein of slowing down, presence in the moment, something that was outside my normal, just like zoomy zoom. Not that I'm a fast knitter, but you know what I mean? Like something that would slow me down basically and require me to get outside of my normal motor memory so that I would like be more aware of where I was in the moment. So I wanted something that was new or different than what I usually work with. I wanted something that was really lightweight because it is a large worsted weight shawl, and I probably will make it larger than is indicated in the pattern because I want to wear it in that traditional crossbody, boob, snuggly, carrying a baby, but they're actually your boobs, boob wearing kind of way. Boob wearing. So I'm going to wear it in that way. So I will need to make mine bigger because I'm bigger around. So I knew that I wanted it to be a lightweight yarn because as I have learned with projects that I did this year that I don't care for, actually I'm not sure if I finished one of those this year or last year, but in my to give away pile are my dotted rays. I made a huge dotted rays and my Find Your Fade. And so what I found is that when I get those really big shawls, those are both fingering weight, by the way. So they're not inherently heavy, but again, the bigger the shawl is, the more the weight affects how it sits, how you carry it, how it sits on your body, all those things. So I knew I wanted it to be lighter weight because, again, worsted weight makes it heavier. Making it bigger is going to make it heavier. And I don't want it to be an experience where it is weighing me down or that I'm dealing with lots of stretch in the fabric. I wanted it to be warm but light. So of course then I'm looking for something that's woolen spun, which is kind of like my go-to anyway. And certainly something I wanted for this as a more, I don't know, it had a more earthy vibe to me, so the rustic made a lot of sense with that. And then I wanted something that was affordable because I didn't want to dish out like $300 for a shawl right around the holidays for me, you know. I would never want to dish out that much money for a shawl all at once, but you know, especially right around the holidays. So I wanted it to be lightweight, I wanted it to be affordable, I wanted it to be new to me. I think those are all the things I wanted. And so what I ultimately decided on was to do a combination of Plotulopi, because I wanted to be able to say Plotulopi a lot. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Going with it. But I was concerned that A, this would be a little bit thinner than a worsted weight. It's one of those that's listed as like fingering through worsted. And then also I was concerned that in a shawl texture, like a more open texture, that that if I snagged it on something, I was going to get some issues. So I thought holding it with a strand of the, this is Webb's Valley Yarn, Southampton. So it's 72% kid mohair, 28% silk. So I thought that would give it strength, would bulk it up a little bit to get to that worsted weight. It would give it even more texture, even more warmth without weight. And then would also, again, put me into that headspace of presence while knitting. Because of the Lopi, as you can see, it it just breaks like that. So even when you're pulling it off of the cake to start knitting with it, you can't just like yank a bunch of it off. And again, the mohair silk tends to want to like grab onto itself. So you do have to be much more conscious of like, okay, stop knitting. I'm going to pull off a process of how much I want, and then begin knitting. It really did focus intention, I thought. Or at least I'm pleased that it did help me to focus intention in the way I thought it would. So it was very good for that. It's also a very affordable yarn. I think it's in the neighborhood of $9 for 300 yards. And the Southampton is, I happened to get on clearance. I didn't, or not clearance, when they were having a sale. I think it's normally $7.99 for 25 grams, which is 230 yards. So if I felt comfortable with the price point, that was one of the things. Very light, obviously. 100 grams is 300 yards. 25 grams is 240-ish yards, right? So that's a very lightweight yarn. And then, of course, it's also very warm. Anytime you put two strands together, I think it increases warmth. Neither of those are superwash. They have a big halo. They're going to trap lots of air, and they're going to be nice and lightweight. So I'm very pleased, actually. I won't lie, I was very nervous about my yarn selection. Having never worked with either of these yarns before, and then deciding to put them together. I'm also usually really like, ugh, about hairy things. It's not something I'm proud of about myself. I have a fancy lady non-shedding dog. I don't know why I'm weird about that, but I am just kind of weird. I feel like it's sort of like an energy thing, okay, so here we go. Let's be woo-woo. Something about like hair on me. I'm not a super, I wash my hands when I make you food. But I'm not a super, I've lived with a person who was not a germaphobe, but was definitely much more on that spectrum. I feel like I'm pretty, I did not use the, cart wrapper for my baby when she was a baby. I would never be like, ooh, you're dirty because you have dog hair on you. I'd be like, oh my God, you have a dog. What kind of dog do you have? Okay. But for some reason, for me, it just wangs me out. I feel like it disrupts my visual energy flow. It's some sort of feng shui thing for my brain. I don't know why. That was all to say. That was deep confession time. It was all to say that I was I don't know why I was yes, let's make this super hairy thing. But that all said, I'm very happy with it. So here's mine so far. Oh my gosh, let me talk about something for 40 minutes and not even show it to you. How does that feel? Do you like it? Here's so far. I love it. Can I get it into the light so you can be like, whoa, that's hairy. You can kind of see the halo. I love it. I super duper love it. I'm really enjoying it. I've actually not even made it through my first cake of Lopi. So there's my first cake. I have plenty of yarn, don't worry. But I actually forgot to calculate the fact that I would need more yardage of the, I thought about it, but then I didn't know how to approach it. I definitely am using more yardage of the Mohair silk because I think naturally as I'm knitting, it kind of just either through my knitting style or what have you, it kind of naturally is wrapping itself occasionally around the Lopi. So, for example, this is 300 yards of Lopi that is not quite done. This is my second ball of the Mohair silk, which is 230 yards. I haven't weighed it to see, but I know I've used more than 70 yards of that, right? So it'll be interesting to kind of see how that works out at the end. I'll try to keep track of how much more of the Mohair silk I'm using so that I have a better idea in the future. Oh, but I did want to also show you, that's right, that's one of the things I want to show you, was when I was trying to determine which colors to use, one of the reasons I have that orange Mohair silk is because originally I thought that that's what I would use. I thought I would use the orange Mohair silk with this brown Lopi. Oh my goodness. Okay, I found it. It stuck to the sleeve of my sweater when I put my sweater back in my knitting bag. So this was my original swatch. So this is that kind of like, just like beige lopi held together with the orange mohair, which I actually really dig. Like, I do dig it. I do really dig it because the mohair silk has this ability to catch light in such a different way than the wool. But ultimately I decided I wanted a slightly, like a less contrast, a less jazzy version. You can see originally I had purchased that light colored mohair to hold with the green. But I decided against both of those, and I am pleased with my results thus far. So again, that is that so far. And you can see up close, you can see the highlight of the lopi, of the mohair silk. There you can see in that. But it just looks like a little flashing through the yarn, which I really like. So that main color is Plotulopi. Yeah, I don't know what color it is. And then this Northampton wool Southampton, this Valley Yarns Southampton is color 22. So they're just, you can see they're very much, well, you can't see it in that. You can see here, they're very much a similar tone on tone. And so then ultimately I wanted to do a similar tone on tone. They did not have the Valley in a dark green, but it looks very nice with the charcoal gray with the dark green lopi. Ta-da! So that'll be the contrast color on my Hedgewitch shawl. Did I talk enough about that? Of course I did. Did I talk far too much about it? Oh well. So anyway, now that the light has gone completely insane and I'm probably totally in shadow and you're like, why am I talking to this shadow lady? Whatever. Hedgewitch shawl. It's shadow lady time. But anyway, so that'll be all for this week. And then of course, again, next week I'll do this little bit of sewing thing. I'm going to do some other stuff. You don't care. I'll talk to you about when I do it. I'll talk to you